The Royal Rumble is this Saturday, so you know what that means. It's fantasy booking time once again here on SCW. Going to be fantasy booking the men's Royal Rumble match. Of course, I've already done the women's Royal Rumble match, which is already on the channel, so make sure to check that video out before this Saturday. But today is all about the men's. So, welcome to SCW. Please like the video, share, subscribe, and make sure to leave a comment on who you want to see win the Royal Rumble match for the men this Saturday, and also for that, how you would book the match if you was in charge. There are 22 entrants that have been announced already for the Royal Rumble this Saturday, so without further ado, let's go through them. We've got AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, Amos, the Dirty Dogs, Johnny Knoxville from Jackass, we've got Sami Zayn, we've got the Mysterios, Austin Theory, the Raw Tag Team Champions in Alpha Academy, the Street Profits, Kofi Kingston, Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin, we've got RK Bro, Big E, the United States Champion Damien Priest, and Sheamus. So that is the 22 announced at the time of recording. I'm going to fill in the other 8 spots, maybe with some members of the current roster, maybe we can have 1 or 2 surprise entrants. What I will do though, and as a disclaimer earlier on in this video, I think it's unpredictable with those 2 championship matches, so I'm going to be leaving out Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Bobby Lashley and Seth Rollins from this video. I just personally believe that they're in the title matches. I know sometimes that the losers end up in the Royal Rumble match, and that certainly could be a likelihood and a twist that they could do at the Royal Rumble. But because I'm so uncertain of which superstars they would be that would enter the match, I've chosen to leave all of them out. And obviously, as I say, it can be a twist they could do at the Royal Rumble on Saturday. I want to do something different. I want to give my twist and my flavour to the Royal Rumble match this year. So without further ado, let's get ready to rumble, shall we? Let's find out who drew number 1. And without further ado, it is going to be Austin Theory. Now, Vincent Kennedy McMahon has had a numerous amounts of skits backstage with Austin Theory over the last couple of months, kind of giving him tough love to expect the unexpected. And we can have this sort of stage earlier in the evening where, you know, Austin Theory kind of shows his number to Mr. McMahon and say, look, this is a really bad number. I thought we were going to, you know, work out a deal where I could get in later into the Rumble. And Vince can say, well, look, you're going to have to do it the hard way. And this is a good chance for you to prove yourself to me that you're worth a damn on this roster. Because, you know, for me, I won the Royal Rumble back in 1999. I did it from the number 2 position. You've got to go out there and prove you can do it. I want to see selfies as well of you defeating and throwing out 29 other superstars. And I want to see a selfie with you pointing towards that WrestleMania sign by the end of the night. Do not let me down. This is the opportunity for you to prove yourself, to not only main event WrestleMania, but to prove yourself that you belong on the spotlight on a major card and a major platform like that. So that's who drew number 1. Who drew number 2? Well, speaking of selfies, why don't we bring back a surprise entrant for number 2 and bring out Tyler Breeze? That's right, yes, no longer with WWE at this point, so this is definitely fantasy booking, hopefully at its best to begin this Royal Rumble match. But of course, someone that loved the selfie, that couldn't get away from the camera. How about someone that gets in the ring and encourages himself to be in a selfie with Austin Theory? We've seen so many people that don't want to be near the camera when he has it. Usually, superstars are usually laying to the ground when they're involved in half of them anyway. What if Tyler Breeze just takes Austin Theory's telephone and starts taking selfies with them at the start of the Rumble? It's pure sports entertainment at its best or its worst, depending on how you like to look and how WWE should be done. But of course, it doesn't take very long before Austin Theory gets upset. We see it back and forth. And of course, Austin Theory will actually secure his first elimination, throwing Tyler Breeze to the floor, hitting his finishing move first, by the way, and then throwing Tyler to the outside. So Tyler is laid out currently on the outside as we head towards entrant number 3. And I'm going to need some assistance from this one. That's right, because we've got a sound of guitar going out, and it is the sound of Rick Boogs as he introduces the Intercontinental Champion. That's right, Shinsuke Nakamura at entrant number 3. And of course, it's nice and early on in the Rumble. We don't get so much disruption if Pat McAfee wants to dance on the announcer's table as Shinsuke comes to the ring. So we see a back and forth with Austin Theory and Shinsuke Nakamura in the ring. But one thing that is noticed very early on by Austin Theory is that while Tyler Breeze is on his way out, he happens to take Austin Theory's phone. That's right, Austin Theory's phone's been taken, so no longer can Austin Theory, when he's on top in these matches, get selfies, which he's managed to get the advantage over Shinsuke Nakamura. Seeing that Tyler has done this, Austin goes to throw himself outside of the ring, but realizes not to go over the top rope. Instead, he goes under the bottom rope and he starts running towards the back after Tyler Breeze. So that leaves Shinsuke Nakamura on his own in the ring as we get to entrant number 4, which is none other than Sami Zayn. That's right, the current #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. So we got a kind of an NXT TakeOver Dallas situation going on in the ring right now, with these two going square head on as we get towards entrant number 5, which happens to be none other than Kevin Owens. That's right, KO, of course. If Seth Rollins happens to win a championship on the road to WrestleMania, Kevin Owens said if he wins the Royal Rumble, perhaps their friendship can see them main event one of the shows for the championship match. Well, he comes into the ring, and of course Sami Zayn, unsure here because these two are meant to be best friends in real life. Of course, they had a program going on last year. Kevin Owens shows loyalty immediately. We see a 2-on-1 advantage for Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens on Shinsuke Nakamura, and we do see Shinsuke actually eliminated from the Royal Rumble match. Sami Zayn, completely uncertain still, looks like he wants to attack Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens goes, whoa, 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 stop. Remember, we're best friends. Look what I just did. I helped you out. Remember, I'm a changed man here. People think I'm a liar. I'm not a liar. You can trust me. What happened in WrestleMania? You were right. There was a conspiracy all along. There's nothing to worry about. You and me together, we can go through the rest of the field, and we can be the last two people standing, and then one of us can decide who goes to WrestleMania. In fact, if anyone else even comes in the ring, there is no stronger team, no stronger bond than what me and you have. Sami Zayn, he sits there, he thinks about it for a second, and then he goes, yeah, I'll oblige a bit. And he actually shakes Kevin Owens' hand. They have a hug out, and yes, those two look like they're going to be on the same page. So we look like we've got a team then going in as we get to entrant number 6. And speaking of tag teams, let's have one half of the Street Profits. That's right, Angelo Dawkins is in at number 6, and of course he's now running into the gauntlet. Can Angelo overcome the odds? It's kind of a bit of a roles reverse here, because Angelo used to be in a tag team environment. He's actually going 2-on-1 at disadvantage here, where KO and Sami Zayn, two single stars, are now working together as a tandem. And of course, they always say 2 is stronger than 1. Angelo puts up a good fight, but unfortunately is eliminated in the same entrant. That's right, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn besting Angelo Dawkins. Which brings us then to entrant number 7, which happens to be Madcap Moss. That's right, one half of the duo, if you want, of Madcap and Happy Corbin coming into the ring, and he wants to buddy up with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. He's laughing away, pointing at the misery, looking on the outside, seeing Angelo Dawkins out of there, and he thinks, we're all right, how about the 3 of us take out the rest of the field? We see KO and Sami give each other the look. No, Madcap Moss is taken from behind and thrown straight over the top rope to the outside and is eliminated from the Royal Rumble match, which then brings us on to entrant number 8, which of course is going to be one half of the New Day. Of course, Xavier Woods, King Woods, is not available for this Royal Rumble match due to injury, but we have got Kofi Kingston. That's right, someone who is used to taking on all odds. We all remember Kofi Mania, and Kofi Kingston going in there, of course, and just like every good Royal Rumble, is thrown over the top rope, but finds a magical way to try and get himself where he's not eliminated from the match. In fact, perhaps Kofi Kingston could be thrown as far as the barricade, perhaps in some sort of format. He's got to find his way to get back to the stairs, got to find his way to get to the announcer's table. Perhaps maybe Sami, Kevin Owens are both getting out of the ring, perhaps trying to, stop Kofi from being able to get back into the ring. Kofi Kingston, realizing that he's blocked off by Sami Zayn and KO, decides to throw himself over Sami Zayn, but unfortunately is caught by Kevin Owens and is powerbombed onto the ring apron to go to the floor. This eliminates Kofi Kingston from the match here. So Kofi not lasting very long, unfortunately, in this year's Royal Rumble. But of course, right now, there seems to be such a powerful duo. We've got Owens and Zayn on the same picture, and the last 3 entrants all being, tag teams, or tag team specialists, if you want, all being eliminated by these two. And of course, at this point, they feel they're on top of the world. We see Sami doing some of his dance moves. Maybe KO wants to try and get in on the act as well. They think they can take on any and all comers. It doesn't even matter what era it can be from. This brings us then quite nicely to entrant number 9, which, let's go back to the Attitude Era. And of course, the music's been used quite a lot in the last sort of few months thanks to Edge. That's right, the Brood music hits as Gangrel comes in to be entrant number 9 in the Royal Rumble match. Maybe he can spit some blood out as he's standing on the steps. Maybe even spits it in Sami Zayn's face, maybe, or Kevin Owens, to take one of them out, so it becomes more like a one-on-one environment there for the majority of the time while Gangrel is in the match. Because yes, once again, Gangrel is not going to survive very long. He's going to be thrown out of the ring, and yeah, it means Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are standing tall. And do you know what? What's one nice touch, what I think with this booking as well, is the fact we've seen in many Royal Rumbles, like a Bray Wyatt over the years back in 2015, CM Punk back in 2010, where one person is standing tall, eliminating 3 or 4 people and sitting in the ring. We don't see it as often when it's a duo or a group. So for me, this is kind of an interesting twist and dynamic that I don't think we've seen so much in a Royal Rumble match. As the buzzer hits and we get to entrant number 10, we get the sound come up on the Tron saying, "I'm Johnny Knoxville and I'm going to enter the Royal Rumble match." That's right, Johnny Knoxville is entry number 10, and just in that jackass format, he wants to make this as insane as possible. He goes to the ring, son. Before he gets in the ring, he's throwing kendo sticks in the ring, he's throwing a couple of trash cans in the ring as well, and takes a kendo stick and says, "I'm going to attack both of you at the same time. I'm not just going to go in like these other people and just get thrown out of the match." But unfortunately, Johnny Knoxville not probably taken so seriously by KO and Sami Zayn. They're loving the idea. Of course, remember, Sami Zayn has been thrown out of the ring a number of times thanks to Knoxville on the build to the Royal Rumble match. So yeah, Johnny Knoxville is going to take an absolute pounding during this with kendo sticks, with trash cans. Kevin Owens doing a cannonball onto the trash can, onto Johnny Knoxville into the corner. It's going to be quite brutal looking for him, but Johnny Knoxville is thrown over the top rope, but he does manage to get back underneath the bottom rope into the ring. So the beating continues, but for the first time, someone has survived as we get to entrant number 11. And of course, someone that's been hanging around a lot with celebrities of late in WWE, including Migos at day one. That's right, we're talking Riddle coming in as entrant number 11 to the aid of Johnny Knoxville. That's right, so we see these guys taking on each other in the corner, and we finally get Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn separated. KO and Riddle are in one side of the corner, and we've got Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville on the other. Johnny Knoxville manages to hit Sami Zayn with a kendo stick, knocks him a bit silly, knocks him towards the ropes, and yes, as you would expect, Johnny Knoxville actually eliminates Sami Zayn from the Royal Rumble match, because to be fair, it has to be done, doesn't it? It's been done on the build here, it needs to be done to the show, but of course, in true friendly fashion, Kevin Owens proving his loyalty once again, which can go into future storylines with Seth Rollins on Raw. He shows his loyalty to Sami Zayn by actually getting the better of Riddle and running over and eliminating Johnny Knoxville from the Royal Rumble match. So we've got 2 standing at this point with KO and Riddle as we go in to entrant number 12, which happens to be the show-off Dolph Ziggler, one half of the Dirty Dogs, going in there. So yeah, I suppose Riddle is at the disadvantage once again here, but only till we get to entrant number 13, and it's not who you think it is. That's right, no, it's not his current tag team partner, it's one of his former tag team partners. That's right, from NXT, the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne coming in to the Royal Rumble match. So we can see Riddle and Pete Dunne doing how they were in NXT in the Royal Rumble match, and also eliminating Dolph Ziggler as well. So now the tables have actually turned on Kevin Owens. That's right, because KO now is the individual once again, and he's technically taken on a former tag team, if you want, in the Broserweights. Kevin Owens then does take a beating in from them, but he does manage to survive as we get to our next entrant, which is one half of the Raw Tag Team Champions. That's right, Chad Gable of the Alpha Academy enters in the Royal Rumble match to even up the numbers. We're going to start building the Royal Rumble at this point because we've had a lot of eliminations, but I think it's time to fill that ring up a little bit, and let's get some star power in there, shall we, as well, with entrant number 15. That's right, the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, entering the Royal Rumble match, as well as entrant number 16. That's right, Finn Balor is also going to enter the field into the Royal Rumble match. Of course, one thing that's really cool of having AJ Styles and Finn Balor in the ring at the same time means they can square off. Of course, it's like 2 former Bullet Club leaders. We've only seen it once in WWE back in TLC back in 2017, where it was kind of an accident that they ended up facing each other. But of course, 2 guys that have not been sort of at the top of the card for a while now, both former world champions in a prominent position in this Royal Rumble. How will they get on? Let's try and see if we can push them on so they can get back to that top level once again, as then we head towards entrant number 17, which is Cesaro, of course, the Swiss Superman. And of course, during this entrant as well, we see Austin Theory come through the crowd towards the commentary table, and of course he says and explains, well, hang on, I had to get my phone back. Vince needed me to get that phone, needed me to take selfies. I've lost a load of people that have come in this match and not taken selfies with them. I now need to be here at the end. I need to make a statement to get myself at WrestleMania. So I'm going to go back in there and I'm going to win that Royal Rumble match. So Austin Theory also enters back into the field. Our next entrant is St. Louis's own Randy Orton. That's right, Randy comes into the ring and immediately hits RKOs all around, hits one onto Chad Gable and eliminates him from the Royal Rumble match. Also, Kevin Owens finally is eliminated from the Royal Rumble match. That's right, and of course the tag team strip was his idea, the friendship to get through. It is a tag team that eliminates him, so it comes full circle on him. RK Bro eliminating Kevin Owens. So if you wanted to, you could build an RK Bro versus Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins feud on Raw heading in towards the Elimination Chamber. Certainly is food for thought for a storyline idea there. Speaking of teamwork, well, of course, we said about the Brosweights being in the team. Entrant number 19 is none other than Ridge Holland. That's right, someone that was a partner of Pete Dunne in NXT. Now, we don't really see any altercations going on with these two tandems at this point, but we do see that Dunne and Ridge Holland do seem to still be on the same side. There seems to be some sort of mutual respect going on between the two. Of course, they were a tandem in NXT. But before we get to entry number 20, let's go through the field of what we've got still in the Royal Rumble match so far, so you're up to speed with who's there. We've still got Austin Theory then, who was number 1, who is now back in the match. We have also got Riddle, who entered at number 11. We had Pete Dunne, who entered at number 13. We've got AJ Styles that entered at number 15. Finn Balor at 16, Cesaro at 17, Randy Orton at 18, and Ridge Holland at 19, as we then bring in our entrant number 20, which is Montez Ford, the other half of the Street Profits. And the ring just keeps on filling up with entrant number 21. That's right, Sheamus now enters the field and things really get interesting now. I spoke about before, we've got the chain of the Broserweights of Riddle and Pete Dunne, how RK Bro are actually in the match now. Randy Orton sort of unsure with that dynamic of what's been going on. It seems that Riddle's been more of a team with Randy since that's happened. Pete Dunne's been on his own. The mutual respect going on with Ridge Holland when he entered, and now Sheamus getting involved in the ring. Of course, now the actual partnership with Ridge Holland, and we get to a point where we see a square off of Pete Dunne and Sheamus, almost like, why have you been with this guy for? I don't quite get it. We sort of see, you know, Pete Dunne in the ring sort of with his sort of angry sort of stuff that he does with his stance, the baddest man in NXT. We see Sheamus doing his broads. It looks like it's going to be all off between them. RK Bro are standing there as well. We see the idea of Riddle like, well, what's going on with Pete Dunne? Should we get involved here to sort of have his back? Randy Orton, I suppose, would do it, but wants to just win the match anyway. Instead, we see a twist and a turn and an agreement of Sheamus and Pete Dunne. It seemed to be a swerve all along. Them two are on the same page, along with Ridge Holland making a stable and attacking on RK Bro, a 3-on-2 advantage in this part of the Royal Rumble match. Cesaro looking to try and get involved as well. Remember, he's had issues with Ridge Holland, with Sheamus, and now looking like it will be with Pete Dunne as well. But unfortunately, the new stable has got too much of an advantage here, and they do throw Cesaro out of the Royal Rumble match. Entrant number 22 is Rey Mysterio, and of course it is. He's the cover star of WWE 2K22, so it just makes sense to put him in this position of the Royal Rumble match. Of course, he and Austin Theory square off in the corner. We've still got Finn Balor and AJ Styles going at it as well, and we've still got the beatdown then of the new stable of Sheamus, Pete Dunne, and Ridge Holland taking on RK Bro as we get towards entrant number 23, which is the United States Champion Damian Priest coming into the Royal Rumble at this late stage as well. And of course, evening up the odds there for RK Bro as well, helping get an elimination, Ridge Holland being thrown out of the Royal Rumble match. During this same period as well, Randy Orton manages to eliminate Pete Dunne from the match as well. So yeah, it looks like Randy gets the revenge almost for the Broserweights being a thing earlier in the match, which seemed to be a swerve, of course, to get this new stable. And Sheamus, looking like he had the strength in numbers just a short time ago, already seems to be down to just himself. But of course, he gets some, perhaps maybe some potential backup as we head to entrant number 24, which is the other half of the Raw Tag Team Champions, Otis, entering the ring here. And of course, we've had the Alpha Academy and RK Bro having a thing going on, and Chad Gable already be eliminated by Randy Orton at this point. Seems to be a bit of focus going for RK Bro, and it does look like for a short period that we get Otis and Randy Orton onto the ring apron, both over the top rope. Who is going to go to the floor? Riddle breaks his way away from Sheamus, looks like he's going to go for a kick, but instead of actually hitting Otis, Otis managed to pull himself out of the way, pull Randy Orton in the way, and that's right, Riddle eliminates Randy Orton from the Royal Rumble match. So this then can start the actual implosion of RK Bro, which can continue. They've already lost those tag team championships. Now, Riddle has eliminated Randy Orton from the Royal Rumble match. If they don't win those titles back from the Alpha Academy, we can start the breakup, maybe a Punk kick or something like that. And, you know, Riddle, who's had his focus in a lot of different other areas before, that can go back into playing to that storyline as well. Because Riddle, at that point, when there were tag team champions, wasn't having all the focus, was he, on what was going on. He was going after people like Omos when he didn't need to. He's been helping out MSK on NXT when he didn't need to. This could helpfully play into that storyline as them two could go and head towards WrestleMania. But Riddle is still in the match at this point, so he is still there, and Otis gets himself back into the ring as we head then towards entrant number 25, and of course it is Big E. That's right, Big E, former WWE champion, coming in looking for that redemption as well, the redemption story, if he can get himself to WrestleMania and win his championship back after losing it at day one at the start of the year. Big E also gets his first elimination of the match as well, eliminating Otis from the field. That's right, big meat, snappy meat there. Big E getting Otis out of the Royal Rumble match. And just before we head to entrant number 26, let's go through the field and see who is still left in this Royal Rumble match. We still have the number one entrant, Austin Theory. He's been a little bit quiet just at the moment, but he will come into play very shortly. Don't you worry about that. Riddle from entrant number 11 is still in there as well, making all sorts of headlines. We've got AJ Styles and Finn Balor in the field, as well as Montez Ford of the Street Profits having a good showing in the Royal Rumble match, lasting quite a bit of time already. We've got Sheamus, Rey Mysterio, Damian Priest and Big E still in the field as we get to entrant number 26, which is the other Mysterio. That's right, Dominic Mysterio entering the field. So you can imagine straight off the bat, we've got double teams of 619s done for the Mysterios on the likes of AJ Styles and Finn Balor. I said Austin Theory wasn't going to be quiet for a lot longer, because no, he's not going to be. He slides underneath the ring and actually gets the United States Championship and hits Damian Priest from behind with that championship gold, and then throws him and eliminates him out of the match. And of course, at that point, he waits to see Damian Priest sort of stir around and, you know, realizes what's gone on. And of course, Austin Theory can't help himself. He gets hold of that phone and he takes a selfie of seeing Damian Priest on the outside eliminated. And of course, at this point, we no longer see the Priest. We see the Damian side, the angry side of Priest, as he gets himself back into the ring, picks up his championship, attacks Austin Theory with that championship and throws him over the top rope to the floor as well, eliminating Austin Theory from the Royal Rumble. So yeah, Vince, very sorry he's let you down on this one, but perhaps we've built ourselves there at the beginning program of a United States Championship match at WrestleMania, as Priest goes to the outside and continues to attack Austin Theory on the floor until both of them are eventually taken towards the back. We get to entrant number 27, and of course, well, at this point in the Royal Rumble, you want to still feel happy and upbeat. Maybe not with this one, it's Happy Corbin, sorry about that. But he is featured in this Royal Rumble match, of course, and joins the fray and starts attacking on the Mysterios. And at this point, we also see ourselves for entrant number 28. That's right, the one and only Ricochet joining the field. Another high flyer involved in the match. He can continue his attack with Happy Corbin. And as for the Mysterios, we've seen on the build-up to the Royal Rumble how it's been sort of this one-upsmanship where, you know, father's eliminated son 1 week on Raw for a bit of a laugh, and then Dominic tried to get his revenge the following week, but Ray still eliminated him from the Royal Rumble match. A bit like, Dad, why do you keep eliminating me and throwing me over the top rope? Well, we see this here now where Dominic looks to try and get the advantage now over Rey Mysterio in the match, but is unsuccessful. And of course, a couple of seconds later, Rey Mysterio actually eliminates his own son from the Royal Rumble match. So we get a close-up of Dominic Mysterio on the outside, seeing the shot that he's been eliminated from the match, obviously wanting to eliminate his dad to show him that he could eliminate him, but being eliminated again. Third time, it's not the charm, unfortunately, from this one. Dom is angry. He's not happy about this, and where we thought the Mysterios were on side, instead it turns, this is the point where the son turns on the father, grabs a steel chair from the outside, comes in and whacks Rey Mysterio over the skull with that steel chair, but doesn't eliminate him, just make sure he's done the job that someone else can do it. We sort of have that slow stare of the fact of, like, you know, and almost the other superstars that are in the ring are kind of a bit shocked about it as well. Corbin kind of looking from afar going, hang on, let's let him leave here for a minute and we've got something. And as soon as Dominic does leave the ring, yes, you can bet your bottom dollar Happy Corbin picking Rey Mysterio up and throwing him out of the Royal Rumble. As we move towards entry number 29, yes, it had to happen somewhere, didn't it? Omos enters the Royal Rumble and he wastes no time in dominating, throwing some of the high flyers out of this match. That's right, in a dominant fashion, the likes of Ricochet is eliminated by Omos, as well as Montez Ford as well. Montez almost having 20 minutes at the Royal Rumble at this stage. No eliminations, but an impressive showing, even if there's not so much detail given, perhaps of storyline direction. But I want to have him have a long stay in the Rumble, just to show that he's got that potential to be a top single star, maybe some point in the future. We get one more elimination as well just before we go through the field to see who's left before we call our number 30 entrant, and that's right, Sheamus is eliminated from the Rumble match via Big E. That's right, like a belly to belly style, throwing Sheamus over the top rope to the floor. So Sheamus is also eliminated at this stage of the match. So let's see the field then, who's left in before we call in our entry number 30. Our longest entrant in the field right now is Riddle. Of course, it entered at number 11. We've also got AJ Styles and Finn Balor, who entered at 15 and 16 respectively. We've also got Big E, who was number 25, Happy Corbin and Omos as we go towards that entrant number 30. And of course, not to disappoint you, we get the music of Robert Roode kicking in for number 30. But there's no Robert Roode coming to the ringside area. In fact, the camera's cut backstage and we see all like EMTs and officials like around Robert Roode as he's down, completely cleared out. Looks like there's been some chaos and backstage assault, and we just see Adam Pearce sort of looking at someone going, yes, all right, go on, you can be the number 30, go on, get yourself out there. And of course, well, I want to have a mystery entrant as the number 30. As I said earlier in this video, it could be easy if to put someone in this position like a Brock Lesnar, a Roman Reigns, or someone like that, but I want to have an outsider come in for a one-night deal, and I've put this in my predictions as well because I think it makes a lot of sense to do it as well. I think Braun Strowman should be the number 30 and come in for a one-night deal with WWE. He adds some star power to that Royal Rumble match, and he also gives Vince McMahon exactly what he loves to see in one of these sort of environments. Imagine Omos and Braun Strowman, two big dudes staring down face to face, beating on each other in the ring as well. But let's not forget as well, Braun Strowman, he's got to make an instant impact, getting an instant elimination, and Happy Corbin is that one that's going to be thrown over the top rope and out of the match. So at least the big guys going head to head, as well as that left in the match. We've got AJ Styles and Finn Balor going at it. Riddle is still in the field as well. And let's not forget Big E either, because that's going to be our final thought for this Royal Rumble. Yes, Omos is going to get the power game and get the better of Braun Strowman as they kind of try to eliminate each other. But at that point, we see a classic 1992 moment. Braun Strowman trying to pull Omos out of the ring. We get the entire field of the other four helping to eliminate Omos out of the match. That way, Omos is not going to WrestleMania. I don't know any other better way that you can get Omos out of the match. The guy's an absolute monster and a beast. And it does feel like with what I've got left in the field, it's hard to see who would actually eliminate him on their own. But certainly, left with that final four then, as I said, they're AJ Styles, Finn Balor, we've got Riddle, of course, has been since entrant number 11, and Big E, of course, looking for that redemption story. We've got two that are kind of, those AJ and Finn, looking to get back in the championship picture. And I think this is a good place as well to try and make a twist and make a turn. Let's get Finn Balor, turning on AJ Styles, perhaps getting a bit of a darker side on him rather than sort of being clean. We can see perhaps some low blows, something like that, trying to build himself a position in towards getting towards a WrestleMania. Maybe doing the same to Riddle as well. Perhaps maybe that way we can get Riddle out of the Royal Rumble via Finn Balor, seeing this meaner streak, knowing he's that close to getting back where he wants to be. So Riddle eliminated from the Royal Rumble, and it is at the cost of Finn Balor. But unfortunately, Finn Balor, even with this streak, can't get himself to the final two. Big E managing once again to do sort of like that sort of belly to belly over the top rope, eliminating Finn Balor from the match. That leads us down to our final two, which is going to be Big E versus AJ Styles. And of course, this can be one of the sort of classic back and forth, almost like Undertaker and Shawn Michaels-esque. Give them sort of 5 to 10 minutes near eliminations and see what we can do to try and get who in and who out and get both of them over the top rope. But perhaps maybe Big E gets himself back into the ring and maybe he can sort of go running towards the ropes and do one of his spears, but rather than actually spear himself to the floor as well, he can just spear AJ Styles to the floor, because that way we can get Big E to remain in the ring and show himself as the winner of this fantasy booking Royal Rumble match. Because in my opinion, Big E losing the championship at the day one pay-per-view, it seemed a bit out of left field at the time. I do feel that Big E had a better championship reign in him, but was not really given enough of the best storylines. But I think if you give him a redemption story that he's going to win that title back at WrestleMania, give him some purpose and build him on that road as well by giving him the Royal Rumble win, I think it can be a much big meaningful moment, having him do it and win that title back at WrestleMania and actually push him in towards the summer as a strong WWE Champion. But that's what I think. Let me know what you think of this in the comments below. Did you enjoy this fantasy booking video? How would you book the men's Royal Rumble match this Saturday evening? The premium live event, of course, that is going to be taking place on Peacock or the WWE Network, depending on where you are in the world. Also, feel free to let me know who your prediction actually is for the Royal Rumble match in the comment section. I look forward to interacting with you. And there's plenty more of Royal Rumble videos available for you right now on SCW, including fantasy booking for the women's Royal Rumble match is already on the channel. There is Royal Rumble 2022 predictions also, and we've got collaborations as well going on, where we've got the entire wrestling YouTube community to decide together who will win the men's and women's Royal Rumble matches, as long with what is the greatest Royal Rumble match of all time. And of course, don't forget as well, there is also a video out on potential surprises and returns. So yeah, Royal Rumble, 'tis the season here on SCW. Please like, share and subscribe as well. And yeah, enjoy yourselves, have a great day. Thank you for watching this, hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. And don't forget as well, the review of the Royal Rumble 2022 will also be dropping on this channel on Sunday, so make sure not to miss it. Have a great day, thank you for watching, I'll see you soon here on SCW.